Hi, everybody. I'm Sharon Meyer, and I'm the integrative nutritionist at the Institute for Health and Healing. Welcome to goal setting for 2022. It's an exciting thing to do, and I would love you to participate in this. Have a few goes at it, have a few rounds of this. It's a fun thing. And it not only is it fun, but it actually helps to set you in motion for the next 9, 10, 11, 12 months. So let's start off with what do I want for 2022? So I want you to make a list of all the things you'd like. Use your imagination and make sure that you're not limiting yourself. So no limits, no holds, no restraints. And you might want to start to look at areas for 2022. So it could be areas of well being, looking at your physical well being. Maybe it's your social well being. Maybe it's your mental and emotional well being. Maybe it's career and finances. Maybe it's something else. Keep a list, make a list, and just keep referring back to it because you might want to build on that list. Remember, this is not a static thing, it's something that can grow as the year stretches forward. So let's heading into 2022. There are a couple of things, and actually, quite a few patients have told me this is what they would like to happen. I'd like to see my mom. I'd like to see my family. I'd like to see my grandsons. Through COVID 2020 and 2021, I'm sorry, I was getting the dates a bit confused there. But we were so restricted in so many things. And yes, the beginning of 2022 is looking like that too. So there's some frustration, there's fatigue around COVID, and there's still some social distancing that we have to contend with, right? So that might be a bit of an issue for you. You may want to go to a movie. Maybe you didn't see any movies in 2021. Maybe you'd like to have a dinner party. I certainly would like to have a dinner party this year. Maybe you'd like to see your friends, like to give them a hug, get hugs from your friends. So how do you do that? We got to, these are the things we want, but how do we do that? Does it mean that you have to have vaccines and boosters for you, your guests, your friends, your family? Does it mean COVID testing? Does it mean you have to be socially distanced and masked? All of these play into your plan. So, another goal would be asking yourself this: am I healthy? So, what does health mean to you? What's your definition of health? Lots of times I'll ask my patients, what do you mean by healthy? How does it feel for you to be healthy? What are your goals around health? And for some people, it might be fitness. Maybe it's weight loss. Maybe you want to sleep better. Hopefully, you want to eat more vegetables, of course. And sometimes you want to be less stressed, or all of those. So, what stops me from being healthy? And how would I feel if I was healthy? What are the advantages of feeling healthy? And what would I do if I was healthy? So make a list of those things. It's important. Then we get to see this slide. Maybe you want to have more fun and laugh more. Everyone needs a little bit more of this. So, what stops me from having fun? Maybe I'm too busy, get caught up in work and all the things that I have to achieve. Maybe meeting deadlines stops me from having fun and laughing. What about any other restraints that you might come up with that stops you from having fun and laughing more? What stops me from changing my career and having more money? Maybe it's fear of starting over. Maybe I feel unworthy, afraid to ask for more money. And maybe it's work life balance, and maybe it's all of those things. But what can I do to change that? So we can do some self reflection on many things. If we know what gets in the way of being healthy, If we know what's in the way of more fun, having a satisfying soul supporting career, having nurturing relationships. If we know what gets in the way, we can look at lowering or overcoming those barriers. Remember, many of these barriers are self imposed. It's what we think and not what is really true. So we can find ways to lower those and make things a little bit more satisfying. So here's a practical exercise I'd like you to do. This is about what do I really want. I'd like you to get some sheets of paper. It can be 1 to 2 to 5, as many as you like. Maybe you've got some pens or pencils, colored crayons, anything to draw, write, paint, anything you feel drawn to. Get these, put this aside, and schedule a time. Make sure the kids are not in the house, the partner, the husband, the mom. Make sure that you're on your own. Even even kick the dog outside for half an hour. You don't want any disruptions. This is your time and you're planning your 2022. So, I want you to take a couple of deep breaths, maybe meditate for 5 to 10 minutes and just think about, what do I want? It might be the meditation is, what do I want for this year? And then I want you to just write, jot, draw anything that comes to your mind. It doesn't need to make any sense. It might seem impossible. It's out of the question. Don't even think about that. I just want those ideas to come up. Use up all the sheets of paper and just brainstorm. Brainstorm's important. You know, when we think about the Fortune 500 companies, they do lots of brainstorming or had done lots of brainstorming to get to where they want. I want you to brainstorm your life for 2022. It is so important. And just free write. Do exactly what you want to do with this. This, after all, is your life. Now, once you've written up your all your brainstorming thoughts that have come to you, you want to execute a plan. So we want to set goals, but we want to be realistic about those. Often we get to be really over ambitious, and that makes those goals, creating those goals, very difficult to implement. So let's start looking at long-term goals. So the first long-term goal will be the whole year of 2022. Then we break it into half a year, so 6 months, then into 3 months, then into 1 week, 1 day, and that should probably do for those. And then you put in the things that you need to do and accomplish. So if your long-term goal is about weight loss, what would your goal be for that? I want to lose 40 pounds. But you always start with 5 or 10 pound increments. So if your long-term goal is 40 pounds for 2022, then you want to look at, well, by July this year, I want to have lost 20 pounds. And so you break it down into those increments. So you could start off with, and you always want to use 5 or 10 pound increments, because if you're thinking about weight loss, 40 pounds is a large number. If you're thinking about 5 pounds, we can get our minds around 5 pounds or 10 pounds, right? So 40 is the long term, and then the 10 and the 5 gets to be the shorter terms. And then you can break it down into weekly goals. Like week 1, you could just track your calories, your protein, your fats, and your carbs. Week 2, you could cut out all the sugar. Week 3, you could add some more good fats. And week 4, you could reduce your carbs to 100 grams, then 80 grams, then 60, and then down to 40. You could create menus. You eat soup. This is the time of the year for soup. It's nourishing, it's nurturing, and we're attracted to something warm, right? It's cold out there. So those are the things that you would do. If it's exercise, what's your goal for exercise? Do you want to learn to walk fast and do high intense training? Then maybe you would use a pedometer to do that, to help you maximize those goals. Maybe you want to climb a hill or a mountain. If you hadn't learned to swim, maybe this is the time for learning to swim. Maybe you want to learn to play tennis or run a marathon or learn anything that you've always thought would be really, really cool or wonderful to do. Maybe this is the time to implement this in your plan. Because once you do that, then the creativity gets to be so much easier. So once you've done that, I have another exercise I want you to do. I want you to write the story for the next phase of your life. Remember, you are the captain of the ship. You are steering the course. It's entirely up to you what direction you go in. So firstly, I want you to look at your relationship, finances. What do I want? Do I want a different job? Do you want to become a chef? Do you want to change my career, have more friends? Maybe I want to travel and have more fun. Maybe I want to have lots more love or some excitement. Maybe I want to dance. Use your imagination. But here are the rules. Don't limit yourself. I want you to imagine without limitations and then let it settle within you. Imagine hugely, big, creative. Don't let the voice say to you, yes, but I can't do this because of such and such and such. That's not the exercise. The exercise is to create and open your imagination as to what you really, really want. It's your life, folks. You get to decide how this life is going to be for you and in what direction you want to go in. If we've learned nothing from COVID, it is this. It's our life. We want to make the most of what's going on. And the thing about this is, if we can't imagine how we want it to be, how can we bring it forth? Do these exercises. It's amazing how clarity becomes such an easy aspect of this. So my dear friends and folks, I wish you the very best for 2022 and take good care of yourselves.